In 2026, a UK solar farm pays the landowner between £850 and £1,200 per acre per year, index-linked, for 30 to 40 years. On the best sites, a revenue share on top can push that towards £1,500. That's the headline. But the headline is also where most landowners get misled, because the figure a developer quotes you and the figure you'll actually receive are decided by things that never appear in the offer letter. This video covers the real rates, how the inflation linking compounds, what 5, 25 and 100 acres actually earn over a full lease, and the one thing that makes all of it irrelevant if you skip checking it. Here's the market as it stands. First quarter 2026. Standard solar, £850 to £1,000 per acre. Land near strong, uncongested grid, £1,000 to £1,200. Those are base rents, paid quarterly, every cost carried by the developer. Construction, insurance, maintenance, decommissioning. You collect rent. That's the whole job. Before the lease starts, there's also an option period while the developer seeks planning, typically 2 to 3 years, paying £3,000 to £10,000 a year in total. Money for nothing if planning fails. The meter starts properly if it succeeds. Now the part most people skim, the index linking. Almost every UK solar lease reviews the rent annually against inflation, RPI, or increasingly CPI. Over 30 years, that choice is worth real money. Take £1,100 an acre. With RPI uplift at 3%, year 30's rent is £2,670. The same lease on CPI ends around £2,100. The gap compounds to roughly £15,000 per acre across the term. On 100 acres, that's a 7-figure difference from one clause. 2 things to check in any offer: which index, push for RPI, and whether the annual uplift is capped below likely inflation. Some are. So what does a whole lease actually add up to? 3 worked examples, starting at £1,100 an acre with 3% uplift. 5 acres, £5,500 in year 1, rising to £12,500 by year 30, around £260,000 over the lease. 25 acres, the typical minimum for standalone solar. £27,500 in year 1, roughly £1.3 million over 30 years. 100 acres, £110,000 a year to start, over £5 million across the term. Larger sites also tend to win the best per-acre rates because the grid connection cost spreads across more capacity. And for comparison, the same acre under wheat or barley nets £200 to £600 in a good year, carrying all the weather and price risk yourself. A farm business tenancy, £80 to £200. One more number, and it surprises people. Battery storage. If your land sits within about a mile of a major substation, a battery site needs only 2 to 5 acres and pays £10,000 to £40,000 per acre per year. Same passive structure, same 30 to 40-year terms. This is also why 1-acre plots aren't dead ends. Too small for solar. Developers generally want 20 acres and up, but potentially exactly right for batteries if the grid position is there. Which brings us to the thing that decides everything. Here is the trap. Developers advertise up to £1,500 an acre. That number is meaningless if your land can't connect to the grid at sensible cost. Connection viability comes down to distance and capacity. How far to the nearest substation that can actually take the power? 5 miles away, your land gets rejected, however good the soil, whatever the brochure said. And even viable sites wait 12 to 65 working days just for the connection application to process. So the rate table is the second question. Grid is the first. No developer leads with that, because finding out has historically meant paying a land agent or waiting on the developer's own assessment, which you can't independently check. That's what we built Solar Grid Check to fix. It's free. You put in your land's location. It checks the distance to the nearest substation that can take the power, 33 kV and up, and gives you a viability verdict and an income estimate in about 2 minutes. No sign up to see your result. If the grid works, the rates in this video are on the table. If it doesn't, you've saved yourself months of dead-end conversations. And you can look at what else the land could do. The link is below, along with the full income guide with every figure from this video. Check the grid first. Everything else follows from it.